Lee says, I just released my new book and I'm a new author. What's the best way to get reviews and sales? Oh, I got you on this one. I love marketing. So the first thing I want you to do is go to youtube.com/KM Robinson. It's my name. It's up at the top. Head over to my YouTube channel. I have tons, literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of free videos on how to market on social media. This is going to be a total game changer for you. It's going to save a lot of time and effort. And I'm specifically starting to put out content on my YouTube for my author platform, youtube.com/KMRobinsonBooks, which will help you as an author to create author-specific, book-specific marketing on social as well. So follow over there for more. But with this, you need to start forming community. One of the best things that you can be doing is talking about other books in your genre that your readers will identify with. So if you write dystopians and it's somewhat along the vibes of Hunger Games, create content on Hunger Games. People understand Hunger Games. They recognize it. So when they see you holding up a copy of the Hunger Games and talking about it, they're going to pause for a second to see what's going on. One of the things that I love to do is comparison videos. We're doing things that say if you liked the Hunger Games, you're also going to like Divergent, the Selection series, and the Golden Trilogy. One of those books was mine. So now we're holding up books and we're making identifications. If you like this, you'll also probably like these other things. So comparing it to what they already know will get their attention. Then you can slip in things that they're also going to like. So give other recommendations. You also want to make sure that you're answering a lot of questions on social media. One of the biggest things that help authors to grow on TikTok is marketing conversations and publishing conversations. I didn't actually mean marketing. I did mean publishing. So writing tips and tricks. Most readers at this point want to become authors. So they're looking to see how to do what you do. They don't actually care about your content. They want to know how to do what you do. So if you're educating in the space where you have the ability to talk about a writing tip or a publishing tip, if you're established, you then can hold up your book as an example and all of a sudden they're getting valuable information, but they're also being exposed to your books. Now, if you're brand new, you should not be giving out writing advice or publishing advice because you're brand new. If you're brand new, you don't have the experience to back it. So that's not what we want to talk about. We want to find other things that you are experienced in. So you can talk a little bit about your journey, but we're not giving recommendations and advice on how to do things as somebody who's brand new because you don't have the backing yet. It could be a fluke that you're doing well or not well. So you want to be learning from other people. You can look at my content. And if I say, as someone who has been established in this industry for 5 years and has been working in this industry for a lot longer and has many bestsellers under my belt, you can look at my content and when I make a good point, now you can duet my content. Now you can use my fame and my recognition on the TikTok app because people know who I am and they look for my content and they stop when they see me. You can duet it. You can point and nod. And if you want to add a point or if you want to develop something a little bit more, you can add some text on screen. You can talk about what I'm talking about. You have the ability to show off your book. So a lot of people are doing book teasers and not quite trailers, but we're going to call them trailers for lack of a better word, for their stories where you're showing off your book cover, flipping through the pages, giving some lines from the book, and you're going to entice people to read it that way. Another really important thing is to invest in a monetary sense in ads. You cannot do well in this industry unless you're highly engaging on social media and you've developed some level of fame without running ads. So if you shot up on TikTok or YouTube or wherever and you're doing really well organically, more power to you, baby. I 7x my sales that way. But for the most part, we're going to have to run some ads. So you're going to be looking at running TikTok ads. You're going to be looking at Instagram and Facebook ads. You're going to look at YouTube ads. You are going to look at running ads on Amazon and on BookBub and all of those bookish places. That's going to help you out. You want to get as many eyes on your book as possible, as early as possible, because it's going to take forever to get it out there by yourself organically. So you do want to invest a little bit in it, and you can hire influencers. So I actually just posted yesterday or the day before, I frequently do sponsored posts for authors, where authors will send me their book, they will pay me to create a TikTok and put it out in the world. One of them that I did not too long ago has been out in the world for a little over a year, and it now has well over 100,000 views. There were over 1,000 saves and lots of comments, thousands of comments, hundreds of comments, something like that, and a lot of likes. There was a lot of people engaging with it. And over the course of a year and a half, we had it pick up in the algorithm system quite a few times. So it did well when I originally put it out. And then it kind of petered off. And then there was a month where it just hit in the algorithm and I got 1,000 views on the video in 20 minutes. I know this because my phone notifications nearly caused my phone to blow up for real. And so it did really well, and then it kind of eventually tapered off, and then it picked back up in the algorithm system. Because anytime the algorithm sees a good piece of content, it slowly starts to send it out to more people. And so you're going to see those spikes, those rises and valleys inside of the content that you're posting specifically on TikTok, but sometimes also on the other social platforms. So if you are finding an influencer who has that level of influence and who is recognizable, you can pay them to create content to talk about it on social media and see if you can do really well with them. But then also, because you're finding people like me who are TikTok famous and who do have that recognition on the platform, you can also pay them to get that footage to run as an ad. So you can run it as an ad from them with organic or with paid traffic behind it, or you can get the footage to run as an ad on your own and really blow up your sales from there. Now, I also recommend that you are getting reviewers. So you do actually need to go on social media and say, hey guys, I'm giving away a couple copies for review purposes. If you are a reviewer who wants to do this, I would love to have it. Now, you're not actually allowed to be changing things in exchange for a review. It's illegal, babies. So don't do that. But you want to make sure that you are getting some reviews out there. So, talk to friends, talk to family, people in the bookish community who typically do this. They can leave reviews on Amazon. Amazon is the important one. No one cares about Goodreads. Goodreads doesn't help you. You want to make sure if things are on Amazon. And then also, if you can, BookBub reviews, because they can leave reviews on BookBub. Barnes & Noble, Kobo, places like that. But Amazon is key, because when you go to buy a featured ad from BookBub or Robin Reads or any of those book ad buying platforms, they're looking specifically at how many reviews and good reviews you have on Amazon. So you want to make sure you have at least a good handful of those. So find people that will review it for you, give them copies of it. It can be digital, it can be physical, whatever you want, but you're trying to get as many as possible. You can also do giveaways of books and all sorts of things to drive up engagement and people leaving those reviews, and always make sure you're asking for reviews. It's really smart in the back matter of your book to say, if you love this, please leave a review, just so people know. You're kind of giving those calls to action. But driving traffic toward Amazon for reviews is really going to make or break your success with future ads that you're running in terms of BookBub and Robin Reads and all of those things. Those are going to be really good. That's how I sold 27,000 copies of my book in 2 hours and 33,000 copies of my book by the next day, because I got a BookBub. Baby, well worth it. But the industry is shifting now, so you really have to do your research before you jump into buying these things, and it's really hard to get accepted. So you have to have those reviews. It's a vicious little circle, but you want to make sure that you are actively representing your books on social media, working with influencers, buying ads, getting out there, doing different things, being present, doing live streams, going to book signings, being someone who does a lot of appearances and is vocally on the platforms a lot. The more you show up, the more content you put out there, the higher you are going to be noticed, and then the more you're going to do. But be aware, one book out in the world is typically not going to do a ton for you. You do typically, unless you are with one of the biggest publishers and they're throwing a lot of money at you, you do typically need to have a good handful of books out there and need to be actively marketing. It does take time to grow, so don't think it's going to happen immediately. Months to years to get your following going is not uncommon. So you have to make sure that you are active and representing yourself out on social media in order to do well in this industry, and then take every opportunity possible. Do collaborations with other authors. Sometimes people do newsletter swaps. I don't particularly love them, but you can in order to get in front of people, but you also then have to have a following to represent them. It's a cycle. Form collaborations with other people who are on your level, and then try to bring in your audiences together. The more you can implement yourself into this industry, the easier it's going to be to get noticed. But be aware, it takes a hot minute, because there's a lot of us out there and a lot of people doing a lot of things. So get creative, be unique, be innovative, do your best, and don't hold yourself to some ridiculously high standard that you can't meet, because so much is going on. You will get there. You just have to put the time and effort into it. You're using Booksprout to create your street team, but it's really hard. Yes, yes, it is. So with those in mind, with things like Booksprout and BookFunnel and, oh my gosh, what's the one that I use? I don't remember. There are different websites that you can use and put your content out there, and then in exchange for their emails you can be sending out these books and things like that. You are responsible for driving traffic. You're not going to find it on their platforms. They are not doing marketing for you or on your behalf. So you actually have to then market it and say, hey, if you want a copy of my book, here's the link, here's how to do it, here's all the things. I create content all the time on how to get free books. I create it all the time because people love it, and it also helps avoid some of the piracy issues that we're getting. And I give them locations that they can be doing this. So if you have ways that people can get free books, like going on Amazon and looking in the free categories and doing book reviews and all of these things, you can create lists of those. People will like that content, and then you can slip in, hey, we've also got these free books and all of these things. Or, if you like this type of book, and you list some things, you can get mine for free to try it and see how it compares. There's things you can do to get creative with it, but you're responsible for driving that traffic. So make sure you are leveraging your links in bio in your social media. You should not just have it going to one location anymore, which is a dramatic change from the way that we've been teaching until very recently. You want to make sure you've got a well-defined link in bio page that has your social links and then drives traffic to the specific places you need them to go, and then refer people back to it all the time. It's a process. We have a lot of videos on it on youtube.com/KMRobinson, and I'm happy to answer questions. So if you've got specific questions on these things, please feel free to drop those on any of my social platforms. TikTok or YouTube is really good because then I can create you videos, but you know the drill with that, and I would love to get your questions answered for you.